In this podcast episode, Dr. Diego Bohórquez, a professor of medicine and neurobiology at Duke University, joins the Huberman Lab podcast to discuss the science of gut sensing and the gut-brain axis. Dr. Bohórquez explains how the gut contains receptors that respond to various components of food, such as amino acids, fats, sugars, temperature, acidity, and micronutrients. These receptors communicate with the brain to influence patterns of thinking, emotion, and behavior based on the types and qualities of food ingested. Dr. Bohórquez emphasizes that the gut is unique in being the only organ exposed to the outside world, lined by a single layer of epithelial cells that detect external stimuli. These cells, known as enteroendocrine cells, release hormones in response to food components, influencing distant organs through endocrine signaling. However, Dr. Bohórquez's research has uncovered a more direct form of gut-brain communication. Some enteroendocrine cells, called neuropods, directly contact the nervous system, providing a rapid and precise form of communication compared to hormonal signaling. Using advanced tools like green fluorescent protein and optogenetics, Dr. Bohórquez discovered that neuropods have arms that make direct connections with nerve fibers. These cells are present throughout the epithelial layers of the body, allowing for the detection of various stimuli beyond just food components. By isolating and observing these cells in a dish, he demonstrated that they can form connections with sensory neurons, effectively recapitulating the gut-brain circuitry in a controlled environment. Dr. Bohórquez's research shows that these dynamic cells are constantly moving and sensing their environment. They have cilia, or hair-like structures, that extend into the gut lumen to detect chemicals, and their processes connect to the nervous system to relay information to the brain. This pathway from the gut to the brain allows for the sensing of gut contents to inform feelings and decisions, highlighting the intricate communication system known as the gut-brain axis. The gut has evolved to detect a wide range of molecules, including sugars, fatty acids, and other nutrients. These cells not only sense the chemical composition of the food, but also factors like taste, temperature, and mechanical distension. The gut can detect and respond to these stimuli to regulate various physiological processes. Dr. Bohórquez shares a personal story about a woman who underwent gastric bypass surgery and experienced a dramatic shift in her food preferences. After the surgery, she went from being unable to tolerate the yolk of a sunny-side-up egg to craving it. This anecdote highlights how changes in the gut can influence our perception of food and cravings. The conversation delves into the role of neuropod cells in influencing behavior related to food choices. By using optogenetics, researchers were able to manipulate these cells and observe changes in animal behavior. When the neuropod cells were deactivated, the animals could no longer distinguish between sugar and non-caloric sweeteners. Conversely, activating these cells made the animals crave non-caloric sweeteners, as if they were sugar. The gut plays a crucial role in regulating food intake and preferences, with sensory cells in the gut communicating with the brain to influence behavior. These cells can calculate the intensity and pleasantness of stimuli, guiding our responses to different foods. Additionally, the gut-brain axis is involved in conditions like irritable bowel syndrome, where abnormalities in gut sensory processing can lead to hypersensitivity and pain. Dr. Bohórquez discusses how the gut can sense the presence or absence of protein in a meal and adjust cravings and consumption accordingly. For example, if a meal lacks protein, the gut may signal for more food to compensate, but if the meal contains fiber, the gut microbiome can synthesize essential amino acids. The conversation delves into the importance of agriculture and the cultivation of complementary plants to ensure a balanced diet. Dr. Bohórquez recalls how his parents planted beans, corn, and vegetables together on their farm, following a traditional practice that provided a variety of macronutrients. He highlights the significance of nutrition in agriculture and the role of essential amino acids in plant-based diets. The conversation delves into how humans evolved food choices and flavor preferences based on trial and error with plants. Dr. Bohórquez explains how neuropod cells in the gut play a crucial role in discerning what is nutritious and safe to consume. He discusses the complex process of sensory integration for nutrients in the brain, particularly in areas like the nucleus tractus solitarius, which regulates hunger and appetite. The information from the gut is sent to the brainstem and other regions involved in dopamine release and craving, highlighting the interconnectedness of the gut-brain axis. The discussion also touches on the cultural practices of native communities in the Amazon, such as the ritualistic drinking of guayusa tea in the morning and the use of plants for various purposes. Dr. Bohórquez shares anecdotes about his experiences with native communities and their deep knowledge of plants and their environment. He mentions the use of guayusa tea mixed with chocolate for a unique and energizing drink. Dr. Bohórquez explains how the gut generates electrical patterns that change during fasting, feeding, and circadian rhythms. He discusses the role of interstitial cells of Cajal in coordinating these patterns and the modulation of electrical activity by sphincters in the gastrointestinal tract. The conversation also touches on the work of Santiago Ramón y Cajal, a pioneering neuroscientist known for his insights into the structure and function of the nervous system. Dr. Bohórquez talks about how the gut is the place where food becomes us and we become food, as it is where nutrients are absorbed into our bodies. This process involves a complex interplay of electrical waves that synchronize the body and the brain, ultimately affecting our overall functioning. He also touches upon the concept of gut intuition, where our gut feelings can influence our perceptions and interactions with the world around us. The discussion extends to the role of the vagus nerve in the gut-brain axis, highlighting its bidirectional communication between the brain and the body. Dr. Bohórquez explains that the vagus nerve can both induce states of calm and arousal, challenging the common perception that it is solely responsible for calming the nervous system. He emphasizes the importance of understanding the vagus nerve's role in regulating our physiological responses and states of alertness. The conversation delves into the impact of gut sensing on decision-making and overall well-being. Dr. Bohórquez shares insights on how tuning into our gut sensations can help us navigate life's complexities and make more informed choices. He discusses the significance of gut microbiome health and how factors like fiber intake and fermented foods can support a healthy gut ecosystem. Dr. Bohórquez also reflects on the need to listen to our bodies and pay attention to subtle signals that indicate when something may be off. He shares a personal anecdote about ignoring a minor discomfort in his foot while running, which later led to a hairline fracture. This experience served to him as a reminder of the importance of tuning into his body's cues and not pushing himself beyond his limits. Throughout the podcast, Dr. Bohórquez underscores the sophistication of the gut-brain axis and the body's innate intelligence. He highlights the need for self-care and listening to our bodies to maintain overall health and well-being. The conversation concludes with gratitude towards the host, the audience, and the scientific community for their support and engagement in exploring the fascinating realm of gut sensing and the gut-brain axis.